Hey everyone, I'm Big John, and welcome to another episode of the Diz Ability Show. This week, coming to you from my ski condo at Sunday River. So, this week I want to talk to you about something that we talk about now and then here on the channel, the DAS, the Disability Pass or DAS Pass system. So, when the Disney Genie came out, there is now the option to get 2 DAS passes in advance, and it's by going onto the app and talking to a disability cast member or something like that. That's great if you want to kill 2 birds with 1 stone, but we like to do the in-person thing because it has more of that guest and cast member interaction. And for those of you who don't know how it works, you go to one of the 4 parks and you ask if you can get your pass for the trip, or if you're at the Magic Kingdom, you can go into Town Square, City Hall on Main Street if the information center in front of the park is busy. They'll scan your Magic Band, take your picture, and check to see who else is in your party. And that pass is good for your whole trip. And how it works is that you go to a ride and you go up to the cast member with a tablet and ask if you can get a return time. They'll scan your Magic Band, see how many other people in your party are going with you, and they'll give you a return time. Then you can just go enjoy the rest of the park. Then when your time rolls around, head back, scan your Magic Band. It'll start out blue, then they'll check and say, you're good to go. And it's very convenient for those who don't want to wait 5 hours for a ride. I'm speaking to you, all you Rise and Ratatouille people. But yeah. Scan your Magic Band. And you're good. And if you're going to Disney and you have a person in your party with disabilities, which of course is what this channel is all about, make sure you get the DAS pass. It'll make your trip a lot easier for you as well as the person in your party. So anyway, that's my tip. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions on how to do Disney for people with disabilities, and I'll make sure it gets into a future episode. Now it's time for this week's Top 5. So, Flower and Garden has begun at Epcot, and remember back when it was only March to May, and now it's going right to the 4th of July? Makes me wonder when Food and Wine starts now. But anyway, there are so many great things to do and see at Epcot during the Flower and Garden Festival. So this week, we're going to do the top 5 things at Flower and Garden. Number 5, the Garden Rocks concert series. We have yet to do this. And it has some legendary bands performing, like Simple Plan, Boston, High Valley, some of the best names in music in my opinion, and we were supposed to be there in 2020 when High Valley was supposed to perform, but of course the world went mad. But yeah, maybe one day we'll get to do it, maybe in April, I don't know. Alright, number 4, the Butterfly Huts. Now, during Flower and Garden, they put this huge tent right on one of the walkways that lead into Journey into Imagination, and it is beautiful. You get to see all these butterflies, eyes flying over you, around you, under you sometimes, and it is quite beautiful, and it really shows how beautiful nature can be. Speaking of bee, number 3 is Spike the Bee. Yeah, so Spike the Bee, for those of you who don't know, is Disney's Flower and Garden equivalent to Figment. And he has his own scavenger hunt around World Showcase, which if you do the Epcot festivals, you know about the scavenger hunts. And he has a whole lot of merchandise, and some people have made songs about him. And for those of you who watch WDWNT, and it is, and number 2, of course, the topiaries. Now, Flower and Garden is vastly known for the character topiaries that they put all over the park. Like this year, in front of Spaceship Earth, they have a topiary of Goofy holding a 50th birthday cake, of course, for the 50th anniversary. And, of course, all the regular topiaries around World Showcase and the rest of the park for this festival. But they put Buzz in his usual spot in front of Mission Space. They put Kermit and Piggy in France, I think. Pooh and Friends and Peter Pan are in topiaries in England, and Three Caballeros, of course, in Mexico, and on a whole lot of others. The topiaries, of course, are a real eye drawer for the Flower and Garden Festival, as is number 1, the flower bed that they put in front of the Imagination Pavilion. And this year it has a 50 on it. It is a beautiful thing to look at, especially when you got the monorail going right over it. And when that happens, your jaw just drops and you go, yes, I'm home for Flower and Garden. My life is complete. And we always go down to Flower and Garden for April, and it is beautiful. And this will be like our 7th Flower and Garden Festival for us. And we've done 2 trips of Food and Wine and 1 Festival of the Holidays. We have yet to do Festival of the Arts. Who knows? Maybe we will. But anyway, let me know in the comments what your favorite part of the Flower and Garden Festival is. And now, it is time for round 1 of March Madness. Now, as you know, you can vote in the comments, and and if you're a member of the Disney Vlog Squad or Disney Content Creators groups on Facebook, you can vote there as well. Now, here is our round 1 matchups. Our first matchup, we have the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train versus Dinosaur. Now, on one side, you have a classic Disney dark ride roller coaster combination. And on the other side, you have a scream your head off, sensory overload experience where you go back in time to rescue an iguanodon from extinction. And this is the battle of old school animatronics with the Carnotaurus and dinosaurs, and the new school animatronics with the Seven Dwarfs. So, battle of technologically advances for this one. All right, our second matchup, Star Wars Rise of the Resistance versus Test Track. On one side, you get to experience the story of Star Wars by joining the Resistance, getting captured on a Star Destroyer, and escaping with the help of the Resistance. And actually immersing yourself into the Star Wars universe. And on the other side, Test Track, you get to create your very own Chevrolet custom vehicle and see how it does on the track. Maybe this next trip we'll get to do another video of that. Hopefully I'll win next time. But yeah, it will be interesting to see how that one turns out. Next up, quite an interesting one. We have Peter Pan's Flight versus Expedition Everest. So, to clarify, the most probably the most crowding attraction at the Magic Kingdom versus a ride that probably won't reopen and from refurbishment until like April 30th. And no, it's not to fix the Yeti. Believe me, people have tried. But yeah, I'd be surprised if Everest comes on top on this one. You never know. You never know. You all have your own opinions. I have mine. All right, next up we have Slinky Dog Dash versus Remy's Ratatouille Adventure. Now, on one side you have a thrilling family coaster which zooms you around Andy's backyard. And on the other side you have Epcot's latest and perhaps greatest experience. We finally got it from Disneyland Paris. And you are in a crazy 3D race around the kitchen in Gusteau's restaurant. So it'll be interesting to see how this one goes. All right, next we have the Haunted Mansion versus Kilimanjaro Safaris. On one side we have the classic attraction with 999 haunts, and it'll get a move, and it'll have a new movie next year with Tiffany Haddish, and Danny DeVito, Rosario Dawson, and Owen Wilson. On the other side, we have an opening day classic Animal Kingdom attraction, the largest Disney has ever built, bigger than the entire Magic Kingdom, I may add. And you get to see live animals roaming around. All right, next we have the Tower of Terror versus Space Mountain. Battle of the old school. On one side you have the classic tower where with the randomized drop sequences, you never know how many times you're going to drop. I remember the first time I rode it. Oh, look, there's a Slinky Dog Dash. And on the other side, you have Space Mountain. The classic attraction where you zoom into space. The lights are turned off. I think this is the battle of pure dark rides right here. All right, next we have our reigning champion from last year, Splash Mountain, versus Avatar Flight of Passage. Now, of course, Splash Mountain won last year's tournament. That's why I end every video with have a zippity-doo-dah-day. And we still don't know when or even if they're going through with this Princess and the Frog thing. We really don't at this point. It's been like 2 years now since we heard about this. And on the other side, we have what we like to call Soarin' on steroids, where you get to fly on a Banshee and fly through Pandora. And finally, Toy Story Mania versus Soarin' Around the World. Speaking of Soarin', all right, on one side you have an interactive game where you get to throw targets at, and we score points, and it's like a video game. I have the Wii version of Toy Story Mania at home to give me some practice, and it helps because me and my mom always beat my dad. And on the other side, you have Soarin' Around the World. It is one of our favorite rides. Not as good as the first Soarin' though I envy the people in California because during their Food and Wine right now, they have their original Soarin' over California back. I'm kind of jealous. But anyway, those are the matchups. Remember, you can vote in the comments, or if you're part of the Disney Vlog Squad or content creator groups on Facebook, you can vote there. Voting ends this coming Thursday, and in case of a tie, I am the tiebreaker. So anyway, that's this week's show. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions on how to do Disney for people with disabilities, and I'll make sure it gets into a future episode. Now for this week's shout-outs, make sure you check out Tanya, a.k.a. That Crazy Disney Lady. She does amazing live streams from the parks each and every week. Make sure you check her out. If you're looking to add some fun to your next Zoom meeting or party, I highly recommend contacting Cameron Matthews Entertainment, and he will definitely put some spice into your next Zoom party. Also, make sure you check out Bethany over at Villains and Vice. She does amazing at-home and in-the-parks vlogs. And also make sure you check out my friend Julie, her Facebook page, Dream to Stream. She's now doing occasional streams now to focus on her, but if you join her group, you'll get some great streams no matter what. So definitely check her out. And also for the latest attraction news, make sure you check out our friends over at Attractions Magazine. If you're not yet subscribed here yet to the Big John Network, what in the Walt Disney World are you waiting for? And tap the bell for notifications so you never miss a second of the fun. And until next time, have a zippity-doo-dah day.